what I believe it is. A lot of depression comes from the fact that we don't like ourselves internally, because we've been programmed with so much tragic stuff in our lives. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact it's a subconscious thing that we don't have this belief about how worthy we are, and that creates a lot of depression, because especially with social media, because now you want to compare with people, and it just takes things to a whole nother level. So I believe if we change our circumstances by changing the way we see things, as Dwayne Dwyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change, right? That's so profound. It's so true. So I believe if we do that, then we can cure and change our depression, and we can become more, because that's the primary cause of all of that stuff. A small percentage has to do with maybe imbalance in brain chemicals, but the majority of depression is really subconscious thing. What's the difference between confidence and arrogance? Confidence, real supreme confidence, which is confidence. Real confidence will have a humility with it. Arrogance is ego. That's the difference. A confident person will never try to show out on someone. They'll never try to judge or try to belittle someone. They'll do it in the most coy or humble way, but they'll still get their point across, and you'll know they're confident. Arrogance, you'll see that from a mile away. It's someone that's trying to prove, to make someone believe they're not. Arrogance is not confidence. As a matter of fact, arrogance is a real sign of low self-esteem. Did you know that? Arrogance is a big sign that you have blocks. We put up arrogance to protect ourselves from our faults, our limiting beliefs. Oprah says you can have it all, but not all at once. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can have all your desires, but you can't have everything come all at once. It's just too much information. Your brain will overload. That's why we move things in steps, because that's why we were programmed with linear time, because your brain does things in compartmentalizing. So that's why you manifest that. But in theory though, it's everything is all there at once, but you cannot experience it all at once, because just your brain is just how our brains have developed, guys. Our brains just developed just on a need basis. I'll give you another analogy. I'll use cars again. It's like buying a car. You could buy the base model, or you could buy the top of the line model, which has all the accessories, right? So our brains are always the base model. Our brains are never the top of the line model. We'll never get that, because unless one day we get up and our brain just evolve, we're not going to pick up different spectrums, which will take billions of years or millions of years. But at the point we're at right now, our brains are base models. So that's why you can only get things like in compartmentalizing. But the fact is, it's still there all at once. See how the difference is? So you have a car that's a base model. Then you have a car that has fully equipped. Our brains aren't fully equipped. Sorry. That's why I always go extra I go into my higher mind for things like that. I use feelings, intuitions, which supplements the fact that the limitation of my brain, the part of my consciousness. What do you think about water manifestation? Yeah, it works. You can write down what you want on the water, drink it, because your cells believe it. I mean, you're what, 70% water, so it definitely works. If you're drinking water and you say this is money and you believe it, you're going to make some money. Right? I believe it's what? Someone says what? Yeah, I believe it's really small steps, but I try to keep. That's another misconceptions human beings made up. There's nothing as a small step. There's nothing as a big step. They're just steps. When you look at small steps, you're going to give yourself limitations. Just look at everything as a step towards your goal. Take out all the stuff we made up in the matrix to make you feel like everything is a state of being. You're just moving. You're constantly evolving. I look at things in moments, in snapshots of moments. Yeah, we may say it's a small step, but I don't look at things as small or big. I just look at things that, okay, I'm moving, I'm making progress. Because you really need to approach it that way. Because if you start to look at things like small versus big, you're going to start to feel like not worthy or not good enough because this person make progress over here, that person. So just look at your, because guys, remember, there is no time, right? There is just like the present moment of now, right? See how it works? So a lot of stuff is just how we were conditioned, and some of it you weren't aware of. The language and everything we talk about every day, man, it's embedded in us, and that's why it's good when you cut out the matrix, then you start to see how you were messing up. How do you know you're messing up? Because when you cut out the matrix, you see other people and you watch and you say, oh man, I was doing that. That's why they were doing that to me, because they're still tied in and they're still running the program, and you're watching the program, so you're watching your mistakes, and you watch, because now you know what you need to do to free yourself. You're like, man, that's what was keeping me down. I kept saying that every day. I kept doing that every day. That's what it was. You only can see that when you're out. You can't see that when you're in it. When you're in the fire, man, you can't see outside the fire. Was it Einstein that said time doesn't exist? The only moment we have for sure is now. No, Einstein didn't say that. Einstein saying that time is an illusion. It's a persistent illusion, because in time we can see it from different perspectives. Right? See how it works? Where do clean water machine filter it? Yeah, man. So the thing is to get into what I call your God self. You got to understand that you're not separate from what you want, from everything. Until you realize that, once you realize that, your struggle will stop. If you don't realize that, your struggle is going to continue. Because it's a programmable fact that we are the base matter or energetic of everything in this universe. If you don't drill that in your head, you're always going to be away from your desires, because you're moving away from your natural state. It's another analogy I could give you is like a phone. Each phone company has their own different batteries. So I could have this really nice phone. I could have this perfect look, this iPhone, top of the line iPhone. And if I use a Samsung battery in an iPhone, it'll never work. It takes an iPhone battery. Same thing with a Samsung. I could have the top of the line Note Samsung phone. And if I use an iPhone battery, it will never work. My Samsung phone will be the best, has all the stuff, but I can never power that phone with another iPhone battery. Because why? Because it was not made compatible with that. It's the same thing with you. You were made as a part of the universe. You are part of it. So when they taught you that you're not part of this stuff, that you are not like the God force in you, that you are like this person that's sinner and doing all this stuff, it's like the battery's there. So if you believe that, like you could be this perfect, brilliant iPhone with all the features, man, you have the wrong battery, you'll never see your potential. Facts. You'll never see. So that means you have the capability right in you now to do all this stuff, to be brilliant. You can't do it because they take away your battery, man. They gave you, you have a different battery. So you're not even, you're right. So what I'm saying, you're not even turned on right now, man. No, what do you mean, Mark? I'm doing this. You're on backup power. You're not even on, you're on like emergency power. You're not even turned on. You haven't turned your phone on. What is it called? You're on like when your phone is low, they put it on what, safe mode, like some features could work, not all the features could work. That's what you're on right now. It's like your computer or emergency power. You can't access everything. That's what you're on right now. Until you realize that, oh man, I'm part of this universe. I'm like the universe experience itself. That means I'm the powers in me, I can get everything. That's when you go to full power. But they don't want you to go to full power. That's why they keep you with like the mainstream media, the stuff. They just want to keep you just need just service that just backup service. They don't want you to turn your full power on. Oh, you don't believe me? You're feeling it right now. Why isn't your life the way you want it right now then? So you better wake up, man. Men and women, you better wake up. You better wake up and know who you are, know yourself. Because if not, you will be that very high advanced phone or computer and you will never be able to activate the full features. You'll only be able to do a couple things. Maybe type a note, go to the calendar in the phone. That's all you can do. You can't even go on the internet with it. You can't even play the games because you doesn't have the power to do that because you've been taken away from who you are. You've been brainwashed. Every single human being has been brainwashed.